Hare Krishna, welcome all for the English daily Gita program to all the people. So, before starting our program, let us offer our humble obeisances to Sri Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maharani, Sudarshana, Nitai Chaitanya, Vamanadev, and Panchatattva. So, let us start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today now we are in the 11th chapter, the chapter entitled as Universal Form, the Virat Rupa. Today we are discussing about the 21st sloka. Ami hitvam sura sangha visanti kechid bhita prajna pranjalayo grinanti swastitya vukva maharshi siddha sangha stuvanti tvam stutibhi pushkalabhi. Translation: all the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings, crying, all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. So, this is what, so 21st sloka. So already for the few days, we are already discussing about the Virata Purusha, the universal form of the Lord. So at the beginning of this chapter, Arjuna requested the Lord to show him about the Virata Purusha, the universal form of the Lord. So Lord, before showing the universal form, what he has done, he has described to Arjuna. So how the Virata Purusha universal form will look like, and what he can see, and what are all the things, and how to see, everything he has given. So in the slokas from 5th sloka to 8th sloka it was given. Then from 9th sloka to 14th sloka we have seen Sanjaya describes the universal form. Sanjaya describes the universal form. One second. So Sanjaya describes the universal form. Sanjaya will describe. So after that, from 15th shloka to 18th shloka, Arjuna will give his realization upon seeing the universal form, how the universal form is looking. And initially universal form was very, very beautiful, with so many heads, so many hands, and so many legs, and so many helmets, and with so many colors and so much of variety. He could see many, many things, and everything was blissful. And he could smell the what are all the scents applied on the body of the universal form. And he saw all the wonderful garlands decorated the universal form. Everything was blissful, wonderful. Yeah, Arjuna was very happy. But slowly, Lord started showing the other side of the universal form. So what is the other side? Universal form, the Kala Purusha, time is also included. Because Lord has promised him that he will show the universal form. He started showing the Kala Purusha from 19th shloka onwards. So Arjuna describes about the Kala Purusha. So what is that Kala Purusha? So 19th shloka we have seen. Blazing fire was coming from his mouth, burning the entire universe. And then numberless arms, sun, moon, eyes. There is no origin, middle, or end. He is unable to find out. So it was so fearsome, so fearful. Then the universal form was spread throughout the sky, all the planets and the space in between. So this shows that the universal form is the time particularly is having the influence on all the planetary systems in the material world. So Arjuna not only saw the planetary systems, but also saw the universal form, which covered the entire universe, and he was very much disturbed. Now, in this shloka, he was describing that all the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering you. So, what it signifies? So, who are all the demigods actually? So, demigods are the assistants of the Lord in performing the universal affairs. Just like in a government, there will be so many departments: police department, law and order department, law department, water resources department. So like that, so many departments are there. So in the universal government also, so many departments are there, and each department will be headed by a particular person. He is a demigod. Just like Indra is the departmental head for giving the rains, and Vayu is the departmental head for giving the air, and Varuna is the departmental head for waters. So like that, so many departmental heads are there. So all these demigods, they will assist the Lord in conducting the universal affairs. So these demigods are the devotees of the Lord. These demigods are devotees. Where they will live? They will live above the Bhuloka in the Swargaloka planets. They will live there. And the Swargaloka planets are having so much of lifetime. So 6 months of our lifetime, our time is 1 day for them. And another 6 months of our time is 1 night for them. So that is the long duration of the life they will have. And they have the access to the unlimited sense enjoyment. So compared to the sense enjoyment, what we have here, they have so much of sense enjoyment. But people will think that if demigods are there, they don't have any death. It is wrong actually. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma bhuvanar loka punaravartinorjuna mamupetyantu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. From the highest planet in this material world down to the lowest planet, at every place, all these things will happen. That is birth, death, old age, and disease. But the persons who has surrendered unto me, for them, there is no birth again. There is no need to take the birth again. So even though demigods, they have achieved so much of material perfection, so much of material enjoyment, and they have become the heads in the governmental heads in the universal affairs of the Lord. But the problem is, they are also subject to the time factor. They are also under the control of the time factor. One day they also have to die. So once their pious credit is finished, they will be thrown out from the Swargaloka. They will be thrown out from the Swargaloka. So here signifies, see that these demigods, what they are doing, they are entering into the Lord, universal form. This signifies that they are also dying. It signifies they are also dying. And who can become the demigods? we also can become demigods by performing wonderful pious activities. But what is the problem? There is no use of going to Swargaloka. We may get some material enjoyment for a long duration of the time, but that is also temporary. We may have to come back again to lower planetary systems. There is no use of going. So this is just like some days, few days we are going to 5-star hotel. So once your money is over, you will be thrown out from the 5-star hotel. There is no use of going there. So now let us see about the sages. For all the sages, they have performed the various austerities. So persons who have done severe austerities, so many austerities, so they will be sent to the planets, Swaraloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka. So all these planets are very conducive for the meditations. Now, the Virata Purusha is spread across the 14 planetary systems. So the demigods who have become very much fearful about the Lord, they are folding their hands and they are praying. Now, these perfected beings, sages, they are also praying to the Lord and they are chanting the Vedic mantras. They are also chanting the Vedic mantras, peace, all peace, all peace. So let there be peace. They are praying to the time. So in fact, all the 14 planetary systems, so most of the people, higher planetary systems people, they could see the universal form and they are very much perturbed about the universal form, particularly the form of the Lord, that is Kala Purusha, because it was very fearful, very fearful. So what is, now we have seen that demigods also, they too have to die one day. There is no use of going to the Swargaloka planetary systems. But once one devotee asked Prabhupada, so what happens to your devotees after your departure? Then Prabhupada said, some of my devotees who are very sincere and who are following my directions and they are performing bhakti yoga perfectly, they will go back to Godhead. But some of my devotees who are not fully surrendered to the Lord, who are having the material desires, what happens to them? Some of them, they will go to Swargalokas. They'll become demigods. Prabhupada has told that. Now let us see what is the difficulty, what is the loss in going to Swargaloka now. So what happens? When we go to the Swargaloka, now in our planet, one particular golden period is running. Because in Kali Yuga is the age of degradation. So everything is being degraded. Slowly and slowly it is becoming worse and worse and worse. But one good thing in the Kali Yuga, now we are just starting of the Kali Yuga, Kali Sandhya. So in this period, 10,000 years from the appearance day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is a golden period. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared approximately 500 years back, in the year 1500s. So that 10,000 years is running now, current. So persons who will take up this Sankirtana movement of Lord Chaitanya, chant the holy name of the Lord perfectly without any offenses, easily they will go back home, back to Godhead. But the problem is, after getting the information about the Krishna consciousness, also, if we keep our material desires, what happens to us? We will go to Swargalokas. So once we go to the Swargalokas, by the time we come back again to this planet, this 10,000 years will be over. This is a golden chance. This 10,000 years period is a golden chance. So if we keep the material desires, if you are not sincere, if you are not serious in our devotional service, problem is we'll go to Swargaloka and by the time we come back here, yes, it is gone. 10,000 years period is gone. Again in the Kali Yuga, we have to suffer. So there is no point in that. So we should take this opportunity of 10,000 years, the golden period of Kali Sandhya, and then perform our devotional service perfectly, and we should go back home, back to Godhead. So only solution is, only method is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all. So any questions and doubts?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Nice.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. In Goloka Vrindavana, there will be time factor or not? There will be time factor will be there or not?
Can you repeat the question, Mataji, please? Golak Vrindavana?
The time factor will be there or not?
In Golak, Vaikuntha planets, there is no, Vaikuntha planets doesn't have any jurisdiction of the time. Time factor is there only in the material world.
Up to Brahmaloka.
Yes, up to Brahmaloka, time factor will be there. After that, there is no influence of time.
Okay, Prabhuji, thanks.
Hare Krishna.